Hey BookTube, it's Peg at the History Shelf. Back here for a quick video on some uh, nonfiction books in honor of Nonfiction November. I ordered some used books via thrift books, and I have one here from, I ordered it used on Amazon. And this ties into the nonfiction on BookTube tag. One of the questions was, um, what books have you read or what books have you bought based off of BookTube and people you've watched on BookTube? Well, each book here, I can definitely connect to someone on BookTube. So minus one, but however. So let me just get right into it. I've got 5 books, and yeah, let's start with this one. I can't remember exactly which video it was, but I'm pretty sure I got this book based off of a library tour that Steve Donahue did. So this is Hilton Kramer, The Twilight of the Intellectuals, Culture and Politics in the Era of the Cold War, which just sounded so up my alley. Kind of reminds me a little bit of the title, at least, Intellectuals by Paul Johnson, which I loved. But this is a little different. These are essays on the thinkers during the Cold War, the intellectual set, which included Mary McCarthy, Edmund Wilson, Saul Bellow, Cyril Connolly, George Orwell, Susan Sontag, which I just actually did acquire a copy of that new book, and I can't wait to start reading the new biography on Sontag, Susan Sontag. So yeah, this is a book I bought, I think, based off of the library tour that Steve did. Steve, I apologize if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure you had a book by Hilton Kramer, and that's where I saw this, and I was like, I have to find a used copy. Now, this used book, unfortunately, faint cigarette smell in here. It's faint. I don't know, I might be able to maybe air it out a little bit. You know, all these intellectuals from the Cold War, you know, they were all smokers, right? I mean, look at this guy. Probably a smoker. Yeah, I don't know. Whew. I'm going to work on it. I might spritz it with something and see if that helps take care of it. But yeah, so that's a little nonfiction addition to the library. I look forward to reading. Next book. This one was recommended to me after I agreed. I asked you guys what book I should read for Nonfiction November, one of them, and you guys all, for the most part, agreed that, or voted that a great idea at the time on the great books would be a really interesting exploration to, you know, read and talk to you guys about. Well, then in the comment section, Hannah said, you know what, if you're going to read that, I would also recommend you read The Whole 5 Feet, which is also about the great books. What the great books taught me about life, death, and pretty much everything else by Christopher Beha. So I ordered this used. I got a good, nice, it's an old library copy. It smells great. Yeah, it smells just perfect. So this could be a very nice complement to a great idea at the time, which is more of like the historical analysis of it, the rise, fall, and curious afterlife of the great books. And this one is like a personal memoir about someone who actually went through and read it, which I think will be fascinating. Because if you have seen any one of these great books, they are very, very intimidating. And yeah, I couldn't do it. I know I had a couple copies, and I think they're in storage, but I have them for posterity's sake, and they are crazy to look at. Okay, so the next used book I got, this is a very nice used copy, because otherwise it's like $30 on Amazon. This is going to be for a buddy read with Sharon Goforth. And we're going to start reading this, A Campaign of Giants, The Battle for Petersburg, Volume 1, From the Crossing of the James to the Crater by A. Wilson Green. And we are going to start this in December, because I will be taking about, the last week and a half off of work. You know, the last 2 weeks of the year is pretty much everyone's gone at work and it's a good time to take vacation. So I plan on just doing a lot of reading and getting a lot of stuff done as far as reading and writing goes during that time. And so I Campaign of Giants, and it's a giant book, and as you can see, woo! But I'm looking forward to it. Even though I did my thesis, my research paper, pretty much the beginning of this campaign. I'll be going over a lot of it again in this book, but I look forward to reading this author. I'd like to know how he approaches the wilderness, the Battle of the Wilderness in Spotsylvania Courthouse. I think that'll be very intriguing. Um, so yeah, if anyone is interested, again, it's a buddy read that Sharon Goforth and I are doing, and I will link her channel below. You should check her out. She's also a big history reader. If anyone is interested, you could probably find another used copy. I think I paid like 10 or 12 bucks for this one off of Amazon. So let us know if you want to join us. Anyway, I'm looking forward to that. We'll be starting in December. Okay, so this book I have been waiting to pull the trigger on and off now for about a year. Waiting for a really used, nice, like new condition to come up. This is nonfiction, and this is just like a coffee table size book of one of my favorite mystery writers. And this is Amelia Peabody's Egypt, a compendium. And this is edited by Elizabeth Peters, who is one of my favorite historical fiction mystery writers. I love her Amelia Peabody series. I read about nine books in this series. I kind of savor them because Elizabeth Peters, she passed away many years ago. But this book is just like a wonderful companion to the series. Oh my gosh. Great artwork. It kind of goes, we got photography as well. It's just awesome. It goes into the Egyptologists of the era, which was like turn of the century, late 1800s, early 1900s. And Elizabeth Peters was the pen name of Barbara Mertz. She was actually an Egyptologist, and she wrote Red Land, Black Death, hieroglyphs, history, or I've got, they're in the hallway, but she wrote two history books on Egypt, and so she knew what she was talking about, and she was great at fiction. She was great at these mysteries, and she's one of the rare writers that really just makes me laugh out loud. The banter between Amelia Peabody and Emerson, it's just brilliant. If you haven't read the Amelia Peabody series, I highly, highly recommend that you do, especially if you have an interest in, Egyptian history, archaeology. Now this book is going to be a lot of fun. Oh, is this a picture of Barbara Mertz? Oh, this says it's a picture of Barbara Mertz here. I don't know where she is and she's not. Maybe she was dressed up in this one. Okay, so this is really, really interesting, you guys. I'm really excited by this book. So this is a wonderful companion to any fans of the series, and this is a book I will cherish and hang on to forever, and yeah, just fabulous. So very excited to have this. Okay, so that wraps up some of the used books I got in the mail over the last couple days, and just got more reading to do, so I better get to it. Anyway, guys, hope you're doing well. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.